Leaders in Sabattus will seek an independent investigation into allegations against town manager Timothy Kane. This comes after a petition calling for a vote of no confidence was submitted to the Board of Selectmen last night. Austin Gayton, a Sabattus firefighter and resident, delivered the petition along with a binder of text messages and email exchanges with Kane. During last night's meeting, the board said the issue was a personnel one, stopping public comment. That decision angered many at the meeting.
I think you can see that the select board, they're not interested in hearing people's voices. You know, multiple times they would say no comment, or we're moving forward, or you know, they would stall.
Gayton says Kane has been disrespectful and dismissive, especially when it comes to items needed for the fire station. Last week, the town's fire chief resigned, saying Kane had a personal vendetta against him. Kane did not respond to the petition, saying it contains a number of false claims. He also said the petition is motivated by actions he's taken as town manager to hold the Sabattus Fire Department properly accountable to taxpayers.